Hey, so today we're going to talk about perfect seasoning. Perfect seasoning. And the reason I say that is we're going to talk about how do you pursue your spouse or your potential spouse in each season of your relationship. How do you keep pursuing a person? How do you go about that? Because today, culture, we've made pursuing somebody so much about the physical, right? Like what we pursue is what we see and what we want to feel and what we want to touch. And we pursue that, but we forget about how to pursue in the godly way. We forget, like, what does that pursuit look like? We forgot. You remember back in the day, they used to use the word courting, right? Like, you used to have to court first, right? But now it's like, nah, that's kind of got thrown out the window. And so I want to talk about what does it look like to pursue and to do it the right way. I remember because there's so much pressure nowadays to like get to first base or to get to second base and you pursue these things. I remember my first kiss with Tish. I was like, this is the night. This is the night. It was in college. It was a junior-senior banquet. And my friend had gave me their card. She drove, it was a BMW back in the day. That joker was nice. And this one time we drove. It's so funny. Okay, I'll tell that story later. But I'll stick to this one. I remember we went to the Lake of Ozark, and it was Chateau on the something. It was this nice little resort thing where they had the senior banquet, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm like, I'm dating Tish, and I'm like, I'm gonna kiss her tonight. It's going down, right? And you gotta imagine. I think I told you the story before. You gotta imagine we like park, and it's like the Ozark Lake, and then the moon is like shining on the water, and it's like this beautiful lights, and I'm looking at her. You know how last week I told you about my lips? I was like, I put so much Vaseline, I was like, she will not miss these lips. Like, it's going to be glistening. You know what I mean? It's like, let's go. That's funny right there, boy. I don't care what you say. And she's sitting over next to me, and we got the moon roof open, and I'm like, I got Brian McKnight playing, one, in like a... No. And I'm looking at her, and there's this armrest, right? And I go to lean in, and she's all cute, right? And she leaned over, and I'm like, right? But I pause. I got to pull it out because I get chapstick real quick, get chapped. Lube them up, and I walk back over, and I lean in, and I'm maybe like an inch or so, 2 inches away from landing the kiss of my dreams, And that little dumb armrest, like, it wasn't wide enough. And my whole elbow, it missed the armrest. And it was just like, smash, right? Like I busted her in the face with my head, and it was horrible. And I didn't get a kiss that night. She did not give me a kiss. She probably was thinking about, I'm this loser. But there's so much pressure for me, man. I got to get the right kiss, right? Like, I got to get this right kiss. But it didn't land that night. And I can't even remember when I think my mind just kind of shut down after that, all the details. Like, it hurt so bad. Oh, shoot. Let me move. But anyway, let's keep going. So, like, before marriage, there is a season of preparation, all right? There is a season of preparation. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at Scripture. When we're talking about seasons of preparation, let's look at Song of Solomon. This is her, or Song of Songs, this is her, she's talking in verse 11, chapter 2, verse 11. It says this, see, all right, now what are we about to see? What does she say next? The what has passed? The winter has passed. The rains are gone, are over and gone. Flowers appear on the earth. The season of singing has come, and the cooing of the doves is heard in our land. All right, so what season is she talking about they're in now? Spring, all right? So she's saying winter has passed, right? Winter is gone. And in the winter season preparation, like there's things that are happening even throughout all creation. Certain things happen in wintertime to set them up to have a better spring, right? Just like in farming, there's stuff you got to do for the land. But that's not the pretty stuff, and everybody don't want that stuff. Everybody just want to see what's coming in the spring, right? And so there's a season of preparation, and maybe like you've been like, man, I've been trying to find the right one or the right girl, the right male, and I want to date them, and I want to marry this person, but I just can't seem to find the right person. And maybe this is just your season, your winter season. And some of y'all like, look, I done been in winter about 4 seasons straight, right? You like, I need a change, right? I need some heat, right? But here's the thing. Maybe sometimes you're in that season because you're not quite ready yet. What do I mean? Maybe God is trying to get you where you probably still selfish, like super selfish, right? Or maybe there's some hurt in there that you still have that God is not trying to let you go and blow somebody else's world up because he's trying to deal with that inside of you, right? Maybe there's some hurt in there or maybe there's some healing that needs to take place. Maybe there's some forgiveness that needs to happen that you ain't quite ready for. Maybe you need to forgive before you can move on. Maybe God is like teaching you how to trust again. Because maybe in the past somebody did something to you and now you don't trust them. And now because of that person you don't trust every male that you date or every female that you date because of some bad things that have happened in the past. Maybe God is trying to renew your mind. Like maybe you're a guy in here and man, you're like, man, I've been trying to find, but I can't find. Maybe God is renewing your mind because maybe, just maybe in your past, you've got into some stuff and the big P word, porn. And now God needs to renew your mind because what you saw in pornography, you're taking it into your marriage expecting your wife to do stuff like that and to create that moment that you felt when you was watching something. And that can go both ways, women and men. And maybe there's a season where God is like, man, I need to renew your mind to show you what is sacred about the marriage bed, to show you what is sacred between a man and woman, how you should treat her and how you should treat him, not to look at them as an object to fulfill a need that you have or to fulfill a lust that you have. And maybe you just need to work on your mind. He needs to renew some things in your own mind. I don't know why you're going maybe in this winter season or this season of preparation, but it is preparation to get you where you need to be. And for you to find that person that God has just for you. You know what I mean? Well, y'all got real quiet on me. Amen. All right. Well, we're going to keep it moving. But maybe, you're growing spiritually. Like roots grow deep, right? Like roots grow deep, and they got to grow deep to be strong once everything comes out. And God is just doing something. And maybe it's just practical stuff, too. Maybe it's not deep hurt or unforgiveness. Maybe it's like you need to grow up some. Right? Or maybe you need to learn how to pay your bills on time. Maybe you need to learn how to pay your car payment, change the oil or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's simple as putting on deodorant, okay? Now, let me tell you why I say that. So, I love playing basketball. I'm not the greatest basketball player, but I go play all the time, okay? And so I'm at the field house on Tuesday. And it's this dude out there, and we all playing ball, and we getting ready to pick teams. And he's out there, and he's playing. I'm like, what is that smell, right? And then one of the other dudes on the court, he's like, yeah, man, it's that funky blah, blah, blah dude over there, right? I'm like, oh, man. And so he's all talking. Everybody's kind of talking, and I'm like, man, bruh, stink, right? And I don't want to go against him, but he's on the opposite team. And so, shoot, he's a big dude. And so I'm down there, and I made sure there was this girl on the team. I was like, I got her, right? So I'm going to guard her, and you can take him. And so I'm guarding the young lady. And then all of a sudden, something comes down. She's just out there, and the dude getting rebounds on us. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go down and help try to get rebounds. And so I'm down there, and I'm like waiting for the ball to come up. And dude jumped, and he just jumped. His arms all the way up. Oh, shoot. So if this is me, and he was taller than me, and this is him, and this is my shoulder, and I kind of, if you play a ball, you kind of push him off to try to get the ball. This dude was so stank. Listen, it was so bad. He came in there, he jumped, and this is my head, and he was just like, ah! And I said, hey, stop. I was like, bro, you stink, bro. You need to go. Hey. oh, shoot. Like, you ain't never get married like that, bro. Like, you can forget about it. I had to go. I changed my shirt. I, like, stopped the whole game. I went over. I changed shirts and everything. But, shoot. Hey, so I'm just saying, you probably never get married if you smell like that. Like, just put some deodorant. I was like, bro, you need to, okay, I'm sorry. Like, he was so nasty, but I say that, just guys, if you're looking for a lady, just, that wasn't even part of my message. Just put some deodorant on. Let's make it work. Cool? The next game, I put him on my team. I was like, bro, it's like, you're our secret weapon, right? And we won like 5 games straight. So it was crazy. But hey, whatever season of preparation you're in, you got to embrace it, all right? You got to embrace it because you can't have spring without winter, okay? You can't have spring without winter. You got to go through winter to get to spring. And so here in your notes, I want to talk about this too. And you may have a season of infatuation. So if you're dating, boy, that laugh got my whole rib hurting. Like, so, you're going to go through a season of infatuation, all right? And what is infatuation? It's like this season where everything is perfect in your eyes. You think everything is perfect. Let's look at the scripture. So in Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 8, says this. This is her. She's talking. Look, my beloved. Look, here he comes. Right? She get all poetic. Here he comes, leaping across the mountains, right? This is infatuation. She's leaping across the mountains, bounding over the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. That's what Tish called me. So now it's like I'm a middle-aged stag, right? Like, right? Like, she's looking at me. I'm on one right now. I'm sorry. But let's keep going. Look, there he stands behind our wall, right? Gazing through the windows, peering through the lattice. Time out. That's creepy, okay? Like, what is he doing? He's playing peekaboo. Do you see that? Like, he's playing peekaboo. I seek you, right? Like, he's going back, playing peekaboo with the girl that he's loved, peeping through her blinds, right? And so he's playing peekaboo, and then she says, my beloved spoke and said to me, arise, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me. Let me break this down for you real quick. Infatuation is exactly what we're reading. Like, she's like, everything is perfect. He's bounding over hills and jumping over mountains like a gazelle and a young stag, right? And so, guys, I'm gonna give you something that's gonna help you when you're dating and when you get married. Okay, take my advice. Don't take it personal, because here's the thing. One day you could say to your wife, baby, you are so fine and so beautiful. And she'll be like, thank you. The next day you could say the same exact words. And it's like, and? Or maybe like you see her like you see her getting in the shower and you like, woo, girl, right? And you've seen her 1,000 times. And it'd be like, oh, yeah, right? The next day, you like, woo, girl, you looking good. Stop, you pervert, right? It's like same thing, right? Like you do these kind of things. And I just want to say, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal, because here's the thing. You out of that infatuation thing. And I don't understand why that happens, but it happens. It happens. It's like during this season, it's like infatuation. It's like, I don't know, like if you can remember when you was first dating your wife or dating your husband, it was like every love song was the perfect song for y'all. You know what I mean? Where you were buying all the teddy bears and everything. Here's a great example. Tish, before we got married, I bought her a pug, okay? Like, what was that little thing? Monster? Pug. He was a monster pug. His eyes, they went that way. Like, I'm like, how did this dog even walk straight? And it's the infatuation. I bought her a pug. And you know, it died when we got married or before. Okay, but we was about to get married. You said yes. So infatuation is like this. I bought her the pug. The pug got sick. And then I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like, yeah, take him to the vet. And, like, they're going to heal him. He's going to be great. And she took them. And then the same plug that I bought out of infatuation, she took them again. And they said, what he had, liver disease. It's something where the joker started falling against the wall, and he can't walk. And so he about to die. And she's spending, it's a couple $100 a pop. And I'm like, hey, you said yes. And the money got to go to the wedding. And it's time to let little monster go see Jesus, right? Like, he ain't going to make it, right? Like, but infatuation was like, whatever you need, let's break the bank to heal him. And reality was like, he needs to go see Jesus. Like, he'll be forevermore in paradise because there ain't no coming back for him. But infatuation, it makes you do some stuff that ain't quite right. And, they say, like scientists and people that have studied this, they say infatuation, it fades after like 6 months to a year. Like, it doesn't last. This whole period of, like, everything is like, oh, the roses. I don't know if you've ever been around those couples like, oh, here, let me get that for you. But no, let me get it for you, right? Like, you just want to be like, right? you probably they just met or something, you know what I mean? And they do these little silly stuff, and it's an infatuation, and some people say it lasts up to maybe 2 years or whatever, but it's just a season. It's just a season. And infatuation is not going to get you through turmoil. Infatuation is not going to get you when both of you guys are having a knock-em-out argument. Or when there's turmoil with the kids, or maybe there's turmoil in the family, or something that's happening. Like infatuation, it doesn't get you there. It's just something that you grow through. And sometimes you have to go through things where you just have to hold on to God, because infatuation just kind of dissipates. And everybody in this room kind of know what I'm talking about. There's some things that your loved one could do when y'all was dating, and you'd be like, you just write it off. But if they do it now, there's going to be some smoke in the city. You know what I mean? Like, there's some things that happen. That's what infatuation does. And this couple in our story, like, they're married. And if you're not, I want to give you this. Because infatuation, again, it kind of pulls some stuff out of you and make you do some stuff that's probably not proper. But let me go to just jump ship real quick. This story that we're talking about in this particular chapter, is from they're married. But if you're not married, in this season of infatuation that you may be going through and you're not married, I want to give you 4 things that I believe that'll protect you and keep you like honoring and having a God-honoring relationship. You ready for this? Number 1, like, limit your time. I don't know if I put that on your notes, but if it's not, just write it down. Number 1, like, limit your time. Like don't like start dating somebody and just forget about all your friends and forget about your family and forget about your day ones, that people that was there for you. Because sometimes I've seen people, they're get into these relationships, and then they just neglect every healthy relationship they had because some little bugger, right? Like, just said, I love you, boo-boo. And we forget about the very things over here. We neglect our relationships. No, if you're going to be spending time, incorporate them in your world. And you get involved in their world. Because you're planning to live the rest of your life together. This is not a contract. It's a covenant. You're planning to go into covenant with this person. So they need to see your world, and you need to see their world. So limit your time with them. Number 2, like, be careful of your talk. Right? Like, be careful, like, of just saying stuff that you really don't mean, that your little parts are saying. Okay? That you think, like, wait a minute. Let me say this. You want to focus on building a true friendship first. How do you build a friendship with this person? How do you do that before you start over speaking too soon? How do you do that? How do you do that? Because here's the thing. When you get to talking about some stuff, and especially when you're in this infatuation stage of dating, and in that season, sometimes when a person says them favorite 3 words, y'all know what them 3 words is? I love you, right? And when they say that, this song starts playing in your mind. Whoo, don't stop, say it again, right? And they start saying it, and wait, you got to turn it up. You got to get the full effect. Okay, you can stop it. and you start saying this, wait, turn it back up, turn it back up, turn it back up. Okay, we're going to keep on moving. It says, touch me, right? And you start saying, when you start saying I love you because of your emotions are allowing you and making you say something that you really don't. Oh, I meant the music, not my mic, sorry. You can turn my mic back down. But when you begin to start saying I love you and you start to overspeak and you start to say stuff that you really don't mean because of infatuation, it's setting you up for heartbreak. It's setting you up for disaster. It's setting you up for some stuff that's going to be hard to rebound from because you're allowing your emotions, your infatuation to overspeak, to tell somebody you love them. Especially guys, we quick to pop that word, hey, I love you, girl. And we're only saying it because our emotions are super high and we want something that's outside of marriage. And so we start saying anything we can. We start acting like dogs, like male dogs. When they find a dog that's in heat, we do anything we can to get hold to it. Don't talk, don't overspeak. Don't tell somebody you love them when you really don't. Don't tell somebody that you love them because you are feeling like aroused. Don't do that. I'm telling you, man, it'll hurt you. It'll mess you up. And then number three, the final one, like, limit how you touch each other. All right? Limit how you touch each other. Like it's something about, like when you're getting ready to, to touch and it's like you get all touchy-feely, and it's only so long when you give her a kiss, and if something happens when saliva touches, right? Because it's only so long you're going to be like, and then your hands just starts wandering. And then your fingers start going. Is it okay if I be real with you, right? And your emotions start going. Like you're kissing now. What comes next? Right? It's not going to be like, wait, no. It's like you there, so limit your touch. Limit how you touch. There's no reason for you to be rubbing on each other in the thighs. Especially if you're not married. Now, Tish, you can disregard this part. Yeah. Oh, man. But in this season of preparation, the season of infatuation, guys, limit your time with each other. Limit how you talk. Like, don't overspeak. And limit your touch. All right? You don't want to let lust rise up and start dominating this space. You don't want to let lust drive you, okay? And then in all seasons, I'm about out of here. In all seasons, like you want to pursue intimacy. Like you want to pursue intimacy. Even when you're not dating and when you are dating, you want to pursue intimacy. What is that? Intimacy, most people think intimacy is just romance. But it's not. Like intimacy, you can kind of look at it this way, like into me you see, right? Like into me. Like, look, see me. See who I am. Learn who I am. Right? Like pursue it. Like, because here's the thing. Romance is a byproduct of intimacy. Romance is a byproduct of intimacy. In romance, it comes and goes, but intimacy holds things together. Like, you begin to find out who you are. You begin to share who you are. You begin to talk about like the things that your insecurities, your fears. Man, when you begin to do that kind of stuff, it takes your relationship to a whole nother level. A whole nother level. This is him talking in Song of Solomon chapter 2, verse 14. My dove in the cliffs of the rock, in the hiding places, on the mountainside, show me your face. Like, let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet and your face is lovely. Let me ask you this question. Do you ever wonder, why do you feel so close when you're dating? Do you ever wonder that? It's because you talk. You talk. Like, you remember back in the day, you had to, like, it'd be like, do you want to add minutes? You had to push the button. to add minutes to your phone. Or you remember the landlines? Like you had to pick up the phone and you sit and you be talking. And you talking all night long, and then there's those famous words. You hang up. No, you hang up. No, baby, you hang up. I love you, right? You hang. No, okay, we gonna hang up together. 1, 2, 3. Why you ain't hang up? I thought you was gonna hang up, right? Back in the day, right? We used to do that. Like, no, you hang up. Why? And then you get married, and you be like, what happened? He stopped talking. Right? Like we just stopped talking. But we got to talk to each other. And I'm always learning this with my wife. Like one of her things, she loves to talk. And she might not talk to some of y'all, but that's just her. But like, she talks to me all the time, right? But that's one of her love languages, communication. And so I've learned and I'm still learning how to talk to her, how to talk about things that brings her to life without me talking about it, because I know in a couple hours or so I'm going to be ready, right? I need to talk to her just to know her, right? I want to develop a relationship so when I'm old and when body parts ain't doing what they used to be, I'm still so much in love with her because we have an intimacy of communication and just being around each other. And when my kids go off to school and leave the house, I'm still as much as in love with her as the first time I saw her walking down the sidewalk in Springfield, Missouri, right? And still love her just as much and even deeper and know her even more. Why? Because I'm learning to develop intimacy with my wife, not just in a physical way, not just in romance, but with communication or mentally. I'm learning these things. We got to develop intimacy. Guys, like, man, we need to open up to our wives. Hey, listen, I'm scared of this happening. I need you to pray for me. Hey, I'm having this fear. I had this horrible dream, and this is how it's making me feel, man. I feel like I'm inadequate. And when you begin to share these things, like it does something, it brings down walls. It creates an intimacy. Remember we talked about growing trust last week? It begins to create growing trust because now I can tell her the deepest things in my heart, things that are bothering me, and not worrying about her telling me, suck it up, you the man of the house. Right? Like start developing intimacy. Pursue intimacy. And when you get married, just don't stop talking. And another thing I've noticed, like even we've learned this before, like guys and women, we kind of communicate a little different. And you know, now I'm learning because there's times like guys, we just want what? We just want the facts. Right? Like we don't need all the details. And women, they want to know. They want to know, how many steps did it take you to get to your desk before you started talking? You know? Like, I'm like, what? Like when my wife, she'll ask me like, how's your day? And what's our favorite word? Oh, it was good. It was fine. Right? Like we just give them the headlines. It was great. I made a decision. We're going to do this. Right? No, it's not going to work for her. How was your day? It was fine. It was good. Why? Why was it fine? Because it was good. Nothing crazy happened. Right? Or maybe I'll come home and feel like, you know, so for my world, like it's a lot of God stuff, right? Like I go in the office, we pray about something, pray about a decision or something we're doing, and I'll come home and be like, hey, I feel like God's calling us here. Well, why? Like, did you pray about it? Well, of course I pray about it. Like, why would I have to tell you that I prayed about it? I would assume you know I prayed, but no, it's a detail. Like she needs that detail. Tell me about this. Don't give me the headline. Like, tell me why. Like, what emotion? Well, I'm like, oh, am I one of your clients now? You know what I mean? Like, but we gotta learn, guys. We gotta open up. Like we don't have to get like super into details, but we gotta give them what they want, right? Like, and women, we ain't your sister at the water fountain. Like, we not finna go deep in the weeds with you. Like find that happy medium with the details and just get on with it and create some intimacy. Is that cool? I hope that helps with you. But some of the things I want to encourage you in pursuing intimacy, like don't make the mistake of being close by and thinking that's being close to. Okay? Like don't make the mistake of Like thinking that just because you're close by, that you're close to that significant person that you're trying to marry or that you're married to. What do I mean by that? Like when you're married, it's easy to think that you're close because you sleep in the same bed, right? Like you wake up next to each other, use the same bathroom, right? Like you use the same toothpaste, you use the same toilet. And sometimes that could be nasty because, guys we kind of miss a little bit and give you, okay, she's giving me a look. But women, y'all can lift the seat too, you know what I mean? Like, y'all can lift the seat. Like when you finish, just lift it back up. Like why we got to put it down and lift it? You know what I mean? It's a two-way, 50-50. Like these women like, no, you should stop right now. And oh gosh, okay, let me push past this, all right? So, but don't think that, because when you don't share your feelings, you lose intimacy. Like when you don't share how you feel about something, you lose intimacy. Like you lose it because everything's become surface. It just becomes surface. She becomes and he becomes just like your friend down the street that you see at the store. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. All right, praise God. And you keep it moving. And you never develop intimacy. You never develop the proper relationship that you need. And then one more. Like, you got to protect your purity in all seasons. You got to protect your purity. And guys, like, I believe this. I'm going to read this. Verse 15. Catch for us the foxes. And this is him talking. Catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards. What are the vineyards? The vineyards are their bodies. Our vineyards that are in bloom. And why is he saying this? Because there's something, the foxes, they'll get into these vineyards and they'll eat up the bloom, they'll eat up the plant where it don't allow them to blossom and it don't allow the grapes and everything to grow because these foxes got in and they destroyed it all. Destroyed it before its proper time. And what he's talking about in their relationship, hey, let's get rid of the little foxes that can get in there, like lust, like premarital sex, like looking at stuff that's not glorifying God in your relationship. Right? He said, hey, let's find a way, let's get rid of those little foxes that come in and that can destroy our vineyards. Let's get rid of those things. And this is not in the Bible, but I strongly believe that that we should lead the way in those areas. I'm not saying be perfect, because I'm not perfect. I don't know nobody in here that's perfect. But we should try to lead the way and be an example in our relationship of leading and living a holy life. And if you're dating a girl, you should try to lead the way. And hey, babe, you know what? I'm not going to let us go to a place where I know we shouldn't go. Because just like what I said last week, you're either going to sin together or you're going to honor God together. There's no in between, right? Like, I'm not saying you're not going to make mistakes. You probably will make mistakes, but you need to repent of it and then set up guardrails to keep you from making that same mistake over and over so it's not becoming a habitual thing. You know what I mean? You're with me? So you're either going to sin together or honor God together. And guys, we got to lead the way in that. And then when you're doing that and you're protecting purity, can I just tell you right now, explain, and this is not in your notes. I don't think it's in your notes, but I think you should.